Welcome back, guys. For those who are new, my name is Rudy, and in today's video we are doing a garden tour for April 2025. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while, but basically we're just going to be going around and seeing what's growing in the garden. Now, for anyone who is curious, I'm growing in zone 9B, and that is in Southern California in Los Angeles County. So let's see what we got growing. Alrighty guys, so it's been quite a while since our last garden tour, as I mentioned, and a lot has changed. This is our winter plantings of some Swiss chards. All these colorful stems are Swiss chard, and then we have some kale in the back. All these are kale, and then we have our peas. Now the peas, unfortunately, they haven't been producing any peas at all. The flowers are coming out, and I've had this pea set up in this bed for a while now, and they haven't been producing just yet, but I am starting to see the flowers coming out, which should be producing some peas. I know I saw one or two kind of in the middle of producing, like here. So yeah, we got a couple coming out. This is kind of the process, what it starts off looking as, just a regular flower, and then it starts to develop a little further. The pod is still covered by that flower, but then here you can see the flower has expanded and is now producing the pea. And this is what it looks like when it's fully developed. Well, I wouldn't say fully developed, this is immature, but it's a really good time to eat it. If you actually want the peas, you'll let it sit for a while and then the peas will grow in the pods, but I like to eat them just like this. This is a really immature stage, but you can definitely still eat them at this stage. And they're really tender and sweet at this stage as compared to if you want to actually grow them for the peas that are actually in the pods. I just noticed that there is some powdery mildew developing, which is not good. I'm definitely gonna have to cut this back a little bit. It's just getting too overgrown. I mean, if you're having issues with the development of your peas, it could be either your watering schedule is a little off and you're allowing the peas to dry too much, or what I think I'm experiencing is it's just getting too hot for the peas. So they're just giving like one last little flush of flowers, and they'll go ahead and produce those pods, hopefully. Now, here is a kale plant that is going to seed. So you'll see this one looks a lot different than the other two. The kale plants and most like brassicas will develop a flower stem that will expand out of the center, just like this one here, and they will produce flowers, and eventually these flowers will produce seeds. That's basically the main goal of really any plant, is to produce seeds and offspring. And the same thing with this Swiss chard. So these two have got a seed and those have not just yet, so you don't want to eat them at this stage because they become really bitter, and it's not really enjoyable to eat. And also too, just some nasturtiums. These I didn't plant, they reseeded from last year. So I just let them grow. So it's kind of nice little backdrop. But here, more kale. This one is going to seed as well. I gotta pull that one out, and then along with some collards. These are some, I think they're called Southern Georgia collards. I forgot, here's the tag right here. Georginian Southern collards. They're supposed to be so heat tolerant, but they actually are going to seed quicker than the non-heat tolerant one. So this is a different variety of collard, and honestly I prefer this variety. I forgot, this one is Champion collard. I just like the leaf texture and flavor more than this one. This one you can see is a lot more stemmy and kind of rigid in the edges, almost sharp-like, but it's definitely not sharp. But I don't know, I definitely prefer to grow that instead of these ones. I mean, if you like your collared stems, then by all means this variety is a better variety. And then again, some more volunteer nasturtiums. But then here's our flower bed. Again, more carnations, and then some overwinter bulbs. I believe these are gladiolas. Forgot the variety of this flower, but these overwinter, I planted these, I think, like almost 2 years ago. And every year, whenever they start to die off, I'll just cut it at the base, and they tend to regrow. But yeah, you can definitely see that there are some weeds popping out here and there. So gotta come out and do some weeding. But yeah, for the most part, this is just a flower bed. I think you got some orange sherbet carnations and some black variety carnations. So hopefully it looks good once they start to flower. And then we got this jasmine plant here. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was completely filled with white flowers. After they bloom, shortly after they start to die off, so it's definitely smells really good in the garden. You just get like whiffs of jasmine throughout the garden once it's windy. Let me just swing you around over here. So I chopped back the grape a lot this year. It was just getting overgrown, and it is starting to branch off, and these new 1-year shoots will produce some grapes. And this is just one grape stem. And honestly, this is the oldest bed that was built. I think back in like 2019. And then we just got a few pots of various things, some lavender, some sage. We got the aloe along with the dragon fruit here, which I definitely got to clean her up. She's looking pretty bad. She has a lot of disease on her. So that's on the to-do list. And on top of it, you can see the trellises actually leaning. So I don't know, I might have to cut her back a lot and just redo this entire pot. Here we got some Brussels sprouts. They're starting to develop. You can see in the armpits there, all those in the armpits of the stems are Brussels sprouts. Here we go. So I started these back in October. I did actually start these on time. However, I left them in the pots for a little longer than I should have. So they are producing a bit late, but so far I haven't harvested any, but they are still developing. So hopefully we get some before it starts to get a little too hot. And then we got the trusty old lemon tree. Each and every time we do a garden tour, I always mention that I want to take this out just because like it's kind of in the middle of the entire garden and it does shade out that bed there, but I can't seem to take it out. Like every single time I come out, there's always lemons and we're always making fresh lemonade. Can't seem to make myself pull it out. But for now, I think I'm just gonna have to cut it back because it's growing a little too tall. And if the lemons start to produce way up there, it's just gonna be a hard time trying to get those down. So we'll definitely trim it back. We did have some cauliflower here that we already harvested. And that was planted around the same time as those Brussels sprouts. That is an artichoke. Now, it does look pretty healthy. I did end up moving it at one point, There's a tiny little artichoke head right there starting to develop. Ooh, there's ants in the middle. There might be some aphids tucked away in here. I don't see them, but there's ants, and if there's ants on your plants, then more than likely there is some aphids. But yeah, that's a tiny little artichoke head. It will start to sprout just like the kale that I showed you. The center stalk will sprout up, turn into a flower, but before it turns into a flower, it'll have your artichoke head. And if you leave your artichoke head for too long, it will open up and basically become a flower. So you definitely want to harvest your artichokes before doing so. But even if you do forget to, harvest one or two, the flowers of the artichoke are really beautiful. And here we got more flowers. This is some echinacea. These ones are almost a year old. So this plant, there's one there. There's one or a couple here that I cut back. They recommend for echinacea, like in the winter time, to completely, chop it at the base. I left that one because we don't have harsh winters. So it actually, survived our, mild winters that we get here in Zone 9B. But it's already producing while the stalks that I cut back are still starting to grow. And I planted a couple of bush beans right here. There's 1, 2. I did have a couple in here, but they ended up dying. Like this one is getting eaten by something. So I still got 2. This one's getting attacked a little bit, so hopefully this one survives, but this one's looking really healthy. And then we got some pea flowers, or sweet pea flowers, should I say. These don't produce any edible pods, they just produce the flowers. I've grown these same variety last year, and the flower smells nice. And then here's a calendula starting to flower as well. Calendula definitely has a lot of medicinal purposes. You can make some salves, you can make teas with it. And I've interplanted these, a couple places here and there. And here we got some purple broccoli. Got to come out and harvest this one. Starting to feel a little loose, but this is still a good stage to harvest it. Now this is another reason why you should be starting things from seeds. You'll never see a purple broccoli, in the supermarket. Unless you might, end up going to like a farmer's market, you might see some type of varieties like this, but that's the beauty of, growing your own food. You can find thousands of varieties of different seeds and, try something that you've basically never tried before. It's called the, oh, I'm sorry, it's cauliflower. I thought it was broccoli. So it's a cauliflower purple of Sicily. So I did have some broccoli in here as well. I harvested another head here. But here's, again, another variety. This one's a purple cauliflower, not broccoli. And then some more Swiss chard and some carnations. And then here we have, this one is broccoli. This is the broccoli romanesco. You can see how the broccoli head starts to expand and turn into these flower pods. So for any variety, whether that be romanesco, cauliflower, any other broccolis, the heads are basically what end up turning into flower pods if you don't harvest it early. So this did start to spread out like this, so I'm just going to go ahead and let the bees have at it once the flowers start to show. Oh, these are purple Brussels sprouts, as a matter of fact. Red Reuben variety Brussels sprouts, so it's a purple variety. And no development just yet. I think they might not be producing, honestly, because they are shaded out by the lemon tree here. But here's another, this one's supposed to be cauliflower, and again, there's no head development on this one, so I don't think this one's going to produce so late in the season with the heat coming and all. We got a little bed of hyssop here. It has some medicinal purposes. I mean, the flowers look really nice as well, and the bees love it. I just gotta trim it back a bit. It's starting to grow in the walkway. Now this bed here is a variety of things. We got some lemon balm here that's taking over. It was a small little plant, but it is part of the mint family, so it will start to, you know, take over whatever bed that you put it in. So it is definitely recommended to put it in a pot or a bed, because if you put it in ground, I've seen people, you know, plant, you know, either mint or lemon balm, you know, in one location, and in complete opposite side of their garden they end up having mint and that lemon balm grow. So it's always good to contain any type of mint variety. Now here are some overwintered peppers. That one's a cayenne pepper, and I forgot what this variety was, but this one definitely has to get pulled out because it's looking pretty bad. But this one here is overwintered as well, and we're getting some flowers. We might have a little pepper here and there. So I forgot if this was a hot variety. What is this? I should still have the tag here. Oh, it's a mulatto pepper. So it is a hot variety of pepper. But these were from last year. We did harvest a lot and ended up turning it into like chili pepper, or chili powder, should I say. And then yeah, some just calendula interplanted, along with some reseeded nasturtiums right here. You'll definitely start to notice the longer that you start to grow, the more you're gonna have volunteers in your garden. So a lot of these plants that I reseeded, either I had that particular variety in that bed and it just reseeded itself like another year later, or some of these plants I compost, and when I compost, my compost doesn't tend to get like above like 120 degrees, so it's not enough heat to kill off the seeds. So they just end up staying in that compost, and when I lay them back in a particular bed, those same seeds, you know, reproduce, which I'm not complaining about that at all. Like if I see that there's like an open spot and it's growing there, I'll just let it grow. Like you can see the nasturtiums. But there's other things too that I tend not to put in my compost, and that's like actual weeds that I don't want to reseed in my compost. But yeah, that's one thing that you'll definitely notice the longer you start to grow. And lastly, the new addition is the beds. So just put these in recently. Still in the process of setting up this whole area. They're completely empty, no plants, no seeds, no nothing just yet. So this was the soil's freshly put in. The beds were probably sitting there for maybe less than a month with no soil. Finally got the delivery of soil, and took me a while to fill everything up. But this is the new addition, so you're getting a sneak peek. And something I'm also excited about is got a garden hose here, a garden reel hose. So yeah, this is 100 feet reel, and basically can move it 180 degrees wherever I need it to get it in the garden. I do have some drip lines in these beds, but I gotta redo the lines that are in the bed because some of them, because we have some hard water here, there's a lot of calcium buildup, which basically plugs up the little holes in the drip lines. So I got to redo that. So in the meantime, I use this reel. I mean, here's just a variety of things in pots. It's a new addition. This is a Gala apple tree. I bought it from Costco, I believe. It was on sale, so I just definitely picked it up. And yeah, just a whole lot of different things, herbs, some overwintered peppers, some flowers intermixed. I got some blueberries. Those two here were also bare root from Aldi. And yeah, just a variety of pots that were kind of scattered about in the garden. So for now, this will be just like the pot area. But where we're standing here in the middle, you can see I put some pavers just to kind of resemble where there's going to be a seating area right here. I actually picked up all those 2 foot by 2 foot pavers that you see there. There's a total of 36 of them, and they're, I believe, 90 pounds each. So yeah, did that like a couple of days ago. It was a mission all in itself just to, you know, pick those up. But those basically are going to be in this area here. And this last quick thing, the seedling station that I built a while back. I have a video on that if you want to check that out. But yeah, we got another number of things here. We got some cucumbers starting to look a little yellow. Definitely got to come out and give them some liquid fertilizer. Not looking too good, honestly. But yeah, just a variety of things. Got some okra, got some loofahs, some tomatoes, hibiscus, and a variety of flowers, and some peppers. And all these, along with some other seedlings that I have inside, are gonna go in these beds here. And that is it for the tour, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to see more content like this, you can click on any of the icons to the side of me. And if you want to stay up to date with all my videos, you can click the on-screen icon right below me to subscribe. This is Rudy with Guevara Garden signing off and letting you know you won't get a harvest if you don't sow seeds.